So welcome. Today's a very special session in our cycle of teachings, because we're going to be looking a bit more in depth this practice of alternated nostril breathing, and that's really one of the most important practices. It's very interesting how in our day-to-day we attempt many things to feel well. And the return in terms of, let's say the percentage of return towards the investment we make sometimes is very uneven. Or, sometimes we put a lot of effort towards something, and then, the well-being is short-lived, or it turns actually into not feeling so well. But this practice of the alternated nostril breathing, the centering and purifying breathing, it's really something quite exceptional. It's very interesting because it's, in terms of the techniques we have in our repertoire of techniques and in different sections of our practices, it's probably one of the oldest practices. And it's very interesting that in modern times there's a lot of research, and there's a lot of papers, a lot of colleges, a lot of scientists who have done research, have studied this. Sometimes they call it yogic breathing or pranayama, but basically is we're gonna rotate the breath through the nostrils. I'm aware that probably most of you have somehow been exposed, so we've practiced it together. But I hope that after today you really get even a deeper sense of how special and how unique something as simple as the alternate nostril breathing can bring such a profound experience, or such a profound state of clarity. So bring the attention to yourself, bring the attention to the present moment. And remember these verses. Don't run, go slowly. It is only to yourself that you have to go. So whatever we do for the next 90 minutes, remember that we are not fabricating anything, we are not imagining anything, we are not adding anything to something that is not here. We're just kind of slowing down to a point in which we actually remember how it feels to be us. Even in the midst of all these this very swift life, and very chaotic, very dramatic life that we are living. So don't run, go slowly. It is only to yourself that you have to go. When we, prepare for Christmas, or prepare for Thanksgiving, or prepare for not being able to celebrate Thanksgiving, or at the end of the day, the joy that we are looking for, the connection with others that we are looking for, the company that we are looking forward to, at the end of the day is also just an aspect of ourselves. So if we can slow down, not only in terms of activity, because sometimes our activity needs to be fast. If we can slow down our ability, or basically in this case, slow down means like to connecting with our ability to be present, to be aware. Don't run, go slowly. It is only to yourself that you have to go. And then let's connect with our motivation. There's a personal reason why you participate in these classes. There's a personal reason why I put these sessions together, why I wrote this book. So bring that to mind, whatever it is that you want for yourself. in terms of your health, in terms of your mental state, in terms of your surroundings, anything that you want for your life, the practice of healing meditation can help you achieve it, understand it. And for a moment connect with the vision. I know, some of you, at least, have talked to recently, and there's this sense of a new time, a new phase, a new project in my life is opening up. Maybe you're looking for a new job, maybe you are looking to move, maybe whatever it is that, maybe you have to pass a big exam, whatever it is that you are engaging, there's this sense of moving forward into a new state, into a new project. So connect with the sensation of what would you like that to be. The sense of freedom, the sense of joy, the sense of well-being, whatever is coming into your life. We've talked about this in the past, chi follows intention, like our energy follows our intention, and our intention is made out of sustained attention. So whatever we sustain our attention into, or on, I don't know the preposition here, so that gives us the ability to manifest that. So whatever you would like for you in your life, just connect with the feeling right now as if it was already a reality. And you can be as creative, as excited, it's just within you, And there's no limit. One of the issues we have often is we just put a cap on ourselves. And as you very well can observe, the creative mind, there's no cap to the creative mind. Just, look around the beauty of this world, both the beauty and the craziness, the drama. So it's endless, whatever you choose. So healing meditation, really in essence, it's about, the healing of it is about allowing you to develop the certainty, this is how it is. This joy, this well-being, this excitement, this enjoyment, this whatever it is that you're envisioning that your life is bringing you, it's within me. So that's the healing. The healing is not about creating this or creating that. The healing is about just, it's here. It's realizing the certainty. When we talk about the teacher, some of you wrote to me that the last session was especially touchy for you, and yeah, it was pretty touchy for me too. And that's the gift, of the inner teacher that once, sometimes the voice of the inner teacher, which is the voice of this inner healer, this voice of certainty, inner certainty of our potential, it's always speaking to us. It's always present, always whispering. But because we are running, and we are running towards other places, we cannot hear, or we cannot feel it. So the healing here is just being able to rest on oneself, sometimes to the point of tears. Yeah? Saying, wow, this is so exquisite, and it's all here. So that experience of certainty, that's an expression of our inner teacher. It's the inner flame of the heart. So the more we visit this, obviously the clearer this voice gets. And what is very interesting is that it always keeps getting clearer and clearer and clearer. So in this way, this is the setting up our motivation is not just about reading a few words. It's really about connecting with this certainty. One of the topics for today was motivation in the unfolding of the awakened heart. And the beauty of this is like the certainty that is connecting with this whisper of our inner teacher, which is, our own awareness. To hear that, we have to awaken this tenderness, this love in our heart for others. This is almost like a mechanism, like a self-protection mechanism, that consciousness has on itself not to get dispersed, not to forget others. So, yes, when you connect to this certainty, the beauty of this certainty is like it says, oh, and actually to take this to its fullest potential, I have to think of others too. So this is why we have two hands, and others can be, your spouse, your children, your relative, your friends, your colleagues, and others can be, everybody else that is around in your town. Others especially can be those who give you a hard time. Others can be those who, maybe have harmed you or you have harmed in the past, or those that you dislike. So this is why we have the second aspect of the motivation, and this is where, when we develop a purpose for what comes next, for the purpose to really have the juice to make us feel fulfilled, for the purpose to really have this juice to manifest with ease, it has to include others. So this is what the altruistic motivation. And one of the essential things here is like sometimes, maybe you have a very nice meditation and you connect with this, and then once, you finish your session, the aspect of the rational mind, the aspect more of the, worldly mind starts getting impatient, because it says, well, yeah, I kind of got, that was nice, but then nothing is really happening, Well, things take time, But the beauty of this is obviously the more you connect with this, the more naturally things unfold. So, the altruistic motivation, again, the same thing. You have connected with this inner certainty that is, that your potential is such that you can experience anything you want, because it's inside of you. And then there's this tenderness that is born in your heart saying, may all other sentient beings also experience this kind of certainty. So today, instead of healing meditation, you could call it certainty meditation, yeah? The pilgrimage of certainty. I am going to practice healing meditation, the meditation of certainty, to benefit both myself and all other sentient beings without exception. So what is the first certainty? The first certainty is that, we said the other day, I, myself, and all other sentient beings are primordially enlightened, are primordially awakened. There's not even like a speck, an atom of dust that is actually messing up with our nature. I'm going to practice healing meditation to benefit both myself and all other sentient beings without exception. May my practice, may my certainty, may my sense of love for myself and others generate an infinite ripple of healing, well-being, and awakening across all time and space. May the illnesses of all beings be healed, and may they never occur again. May my practice bring joy and clarity to all beings, helping all of us become aware of our perfect essence. May we have the courage to recognize the same perfect essence within everyone and everything. May this recognition awaken healing, joy, peace, and love within each of us throughout all of existence. From the external point of view, from the external view of the world, it seems that we need to accomplish many things. And it's fun to accomplish things, and it's fun to, get degrees and learn to play instruments and, take long trips and make money, and all these things are fun and useful. But at the same time, the true accomplishment is accomplishment of a heart that is in peace, a heart that is loving, a heart that is satisfied. So when we talk about healing and healing all the illnesses of beings, so there's obviously external illnesses that we aim at and we wish to heal others, and as you know, that's what I do for most of my week, trying to help people with their physical ailments and some of the mental ailments. But the main illness that we want to heal for ourselves and others is to this distraction from our inner qualities, from our inner, this certainty from our inner value. And this is not a psychological thing, it's not like a mental concept. It's really a profound certainty, extremely beautiful. Often we may experience this also when we're in nature. You see this beautiful, perfect harmony in nature, and you just feel in this oneness. And therefore, when you activate your motivation, first your personal motivation and then your altruistic motivation in this way, from the idea of this pure potentiality of all beings, when you bring your attention to your breathing, that's what we're going to do now. We're going to do a little breathing practice. We're going to observe our breath. So you are really breathing the breath of life. So bring the attention to your being, bring the attention to this experience of I-ness, this experience of presence. And there's almost this unavoidable sense of joy. It's like, wow, really, And then from that sense of presence, from this sense of awareness, at the beginning it's good to do these things slowly, because we, as being obviously lowering the pace of your movements, of your thoughts, talking slowly and nicely like I'm doing here now, almost like you're putting a child to sleep. It allows for the energy of this busyness of the mind to slow down. But then eventually this is something that translates into anything you're doing. You can be riding your bicycle there in Stony Creek or whatever you're going, your nice bicycle, and going fast, and you can still connect with this. You might be spinning the thing to make the clay, and it's spinning very fast, but still there can be this sense of presence. So bring the attention to yourself as the one who breathes. And then bring the attention to the breath as what you are doing, the breath of life coming in and out. So we're going to do this for 6 minutes. even though this is the first practice with it, with every practice you incorporate the other practices. So remember your posture, the alignment of your back. Remember your chin slightly in, your tongue touching the upper palate, the arms resting on your thighs. Remember this sense of inner well-being, this alignment of your body with a sense of positive emotion. And your awareness in union. There's nothing to achieve, there's nothing to experience, there's nothing to create. Simply feeling present, feeling at ease, and enjoying observing the breath. The breath of life. With every breath, as you exhale, softening, letting the body soften, softening tensions in the face, in the shoulders, in the arms, softening any tensions on the chest, on the abdomen, on the thighs, any tensions on the legs. Any tension is added, so you're just releasing anything that is added. See, if thoughts come, just let them be. Without pushing anything away, without adding anything. Just experiencing this open, welcoming mind that is aware of breathing. If the mind is quiet and you feel relaxed, you can just naturally breathe and observe the breath. If the mind is still busy, there's lots of thoughts, you can use this journey into deeper breathing, what we did in session 3 or 4, where you squeeze a bit more the breath and then naturally expand a bit more the breath as you inhale. So as you exhale, there's more breath going out. As you inhale, there's more breath coming in. And if there's thoughts, this will help you also calm the thoughts. Wonderful. So keep the state of clear awareness. Somebody was asking me, how do I know that my practice is working? You know, that's always a good question, and at the same time, it's kind of like a silly question, you know, because if your practice is working, you know, it's like, how do you know I'm in love, or how do you know, I enjoyed this meal? You just know, you know. But you know that your practice is working for two very, very basic reasons, you know. The first one, it's because you are kinder to yourself and others. Things don't irritate you so much, or even when they irritate you, maybe you don't react so much, or even if they irritate you, you come out of quicker, you know. That's the hand of compassion, you know. The hand of wisdom, you know that your practice is working where naturally you just feel more awake, you know. There's a sense of just being more present, and at the same time everything being a bit more dreamy, you know. Things are very present and everything is here the same way, but the mind is a bit more flexible, more pliable. Okay. So if you are wondering if your practice is working, just observe these two things. Does your spouse irritate you so much, or maybe a little bit less? Yeah. Does your mom drive you crazy so much, or a little bit less? Then you know. Or the famous politician, does he irritate you so much, or a little bit less? Then you know. Also, one of the ways you know in which your practice is actually starting to work is that practice sessions are more enjoyable. It's not like a chore, and when you practice, you don't fall asleep. You know, this is a very common question. You know, I want to practice, but I fall asleep. You know, so that happens for two main reasons. It can be the main reason is that there's sleep debt. You know, the person is tired. And obviously, as soon as you sit, the mind kind of just naturally, the body wants to just fall asleep, so the physical body to recover, so it tries to put the mind to sleep. Something that happens as you keep practicing. Sorry, I'm looking for something to hold my book. As you keep practicing, you'll know that your practice is really taking. It's doing what it's supposed to do, because when you sit, naturally the mind just stays clear even when you fall asleep. And sometimes you might be practicing and the mind's still clear, but you almost feel like the body has taken a very nice nap, just very enjoyable, but the mind was clear, there was no sleep. Okay? This is very important, because what that means is like your mind is already starting to tap into something that we will discuss later, which is the fourth state. And there's three main states. There's the state of wakefulness, the state of sleep, and the state of deep sleep. And then there's the fourth state, which we call the all-encompassing state, or the turiya is called in Sanskrit. And that is very important, because that's one of the main reasons why we practice. We think that this is the real life, or most people think, I don't know what you think, but we think that this is reality. And then everything else, the dreams or death, whatever, is just something that, happens extra, and we have no idea what happens, But the yogis and the yoginis, the great practitioners, what they tell us is like, this is just one of the many possibilities of consciousness. And the dream state is no different than this state. The deep state is no different. The death state. It's not that there's different states. What there is like a consciousness that is vibrating at different rates and therefore experiencing different things. Okay, and we know, thanks to science nowadays, when they, I was just reading a very interesting article on the different parts of the sleep cycle. We think that we go to bed and you go to bed and you wake up in the night, or you wake up in the morning, and that's it. But if you have never read about it, it's very interesting. You should read about the different parts within a night, what happens, and the brain goes through different stages in which, there's different waves, and where the sleep is deeper, is more superficial, then some dreams. So there's different parts to the state, to the dream aspect, and all these are different frequencies. Like we see them, you see them at different rates of vibration. So basically, everything we experience is different rates of vibration. One of the best and most, it's fascinating because the most profound practice is the practice that we are forced to do 24/7, is breathing. It's there installed, like you have to do it COC. Okay, so it's beautiful that we have these teachings to practice it. Here in page 53 through 50, whatever it is, 57, 56, it explains the benefits of deeper conscious breathing. All these benefits that are here are actually research, and if you go to the end, to the bibliography, there's a bunch of research and study papers. So all the benefits that are here are actually, these are things that we know in our tradition that are beneficial, but anything that I put here, I actually found at least one. In instances, I found many, and I just put one reference of research papers saying this is so, There's one of the mantras sometimes that we do at the end of our sessions. It says, this is so. Teya taum pensadriya ababodanaya soha. So these papers, this is the beauty of modern research that says, actually, this is so. The Buddha said this, but now, Yale, Harvard, whatever, all these wonderful researchers say this is so. So you can, the references are here if you don't trust me or you want to read the papers, they're very interesting. You can see all these papers online. So as you can read here, the benefits of deeper conscious breathing are incredible. The first one and most obvious is it just regenerates the body and increases energy and stamina, and this is because you bring more oxygen, and the oxygen is better spread through the body, and then the cells, which the cells of our body have the ability to work using oxygen or work using very limited or a very limited amount of oxygen. It's called anaerobic or aerobic breathing. Some of you might remember this from anatomy classes. So, and here the example that is given, and I think this is essential. All this makes sense, but we still, very often we don't utilize its potential, and this is the point of this, to writing this. So you can imagine a little, here it gives the image of a stagnant pool of rotten water. Okay, in Chinese medicine everything is about flow, like flow through the channels. So when we limit our ability to breathe, basically the body just cannot properly detoxify, and cannot bring inner proper resources. So therefore the body starts developing acidity, and then all sorts, mental fogginess, skin issues, digestive issues, all sorts of things happen. Now, when people practice a few minutes every day of deeper breathing and utilize this thing that we did in Journey to Deeper Breathing of really exhaling a bit more and then increasing the breath, really almost like when you open the windows of your house to vent the house. So naturally you're exchanging more air and gases, and naturally the body feels better. And one of the direct benefits is you just naturally have more energy. Very often people come here and ask me, I need more energy, do acupuncture, give me herbs for more energy. And sure, we can try that, and very often works, but you have a mechanism, that is 24/7 there for you. So I really encourage to everybody that practice that we did, Journey to Deeper Breathing, doing that for a couple of minutes in the morning, and then in the evening, or anytime you're feeling tired, doing that for 2 or 3 minutes, you'll feel completely refreshed. I'm not going to go to all of these because you can read them, but the same thing, I'm sure you probably most of you know Andrew Weil. He's a famous psychiatrist. He has many books, and he was one of the first main doctors who started this integrative medicine of Western and more Eastern medicine. He has a great book called Healing with the Breath, I think, or I read it many years ago, where he's a psychiatrist and he explains that to most of his patients he would avoid giving them medication. He gave them breathing exercises. Beautiful, simple book. It comes in CD too, with the practices. So tension, stress, anxiety, breathing will correct the nervous system function. Same thing, sleep quality. Obviously, and I've said this many times in the classes too. Don't wait to dig a well until you're thirsty. Don't train your army in the battlefield. So this is something that your body, if has been going through an inertia of months or years, so it's going to take some time to work. Okay, but research shows that this is like that. Digestion, elimination. When you expand and relax your diaphragm, it's naturally massaging the intestines, it's massaging the liver, it's massaging the pancreas, the stomach. Okay? We've talked in the past about the importance of detoxifying. The mouth, the nose are like the exhaust of your car, the tube, yeah? So by improving your breathing, relaxing the body, and improving your breathing, deepening your breathing, you naturally eliminate more toxins. Anybody who wants to lose weight, acidity in the body will make pretty much impossible to lose weight. Stress and poor sleep. So the breath indirectly will help on those, and then therefore it will help with weight loss. Immunity, the same thing. Okay, hormonal issues. So you can read this. If I would encourage everybody, if you have not done as I requested, you can do that and read that. Okay. Are there any questions, any comments? Let me see what is here. So this is very essential. Yes, yesterday I read Cheksan Rinpoche, who is Cheksan Rinpoche. He, in terms of, he's somebody like, we would say in terms of Tibetan Buddhism, he's at the level of the Dalai Lama. Okay, so he's a great practitioner, very realized yogi, and some of you, we went together to Ann Arbor to see him a couple years ago. Pam was there, and Diane, Missy was there. So I know I've said this, but he was mentioning yesterday, like, we have all this vast array of things that we do in our lives to try to feel better, but really the foundation, even within Tibetan Buddhism, for example, or yoga, or there's this incredible amount of practices, some of them so complicated, but the foundation of everything we do is the breath. So it's very important for us to keep this like at the forefront of our thought in terms of our practice. Even when you're going to be doing other practices that are, that have more steps, or you're going to be doing mantra or deity practice or whatever you're doing, okay, prayers, whatever it is. It's the breath that is allowing all of that. So just always come back to the breath at the beginning. Just feel the breath. And not only breathe, but activate the breath of life. Activate this breath that you're seeing clearly. And anything that you're going to be doing, I'm seeing Les there, so I know he loves to go with his super fancy bicycle, okay? He has the fastest bicycle in town. Okay. He brings it to the clinic, so I see it. He's trying to get me jealous. Okay. So before you're gonna get in the bicycle, you're able to get in the bicycle because of your breath. You know, there's a bicycle because of the breath. You know, so it's really the foundation. So always go back to the breath and appreciate the breath as the divine itself. Okay, we go to, my wife yesterday was telling me, there's a church behind my house. It opens the yard to the church. And she says, well, why don't we never come here, you know? And internally I would love to go, but there's no glue for me to go there, okay, because of whatever reasons, you know. And for me, the church is the breath. Okay, so you can go to the church and it's wonderful, and if you feel connected to that kind of community, that's beautiful. And at the same time, it's the breath. Okay. So 2 things here. Now we're going to start with a practice. I hope this is being useful. It's kind of weird always to talk to the computer and not get personal feedback, but I imagine it's being useful, since I see most of you keep coming. Okay. So, there's a beautiful book called White Path, Old Clouds. I will send a link. I would encourage everybody now at this point to read that book. It's the story of the Buddha, and you know, it's not going to make you a Buddhist. If you're not a Buddhist, yes, it's not going to make you a Buddhist. Okay, so it's not about, but it's a very beautiful book written by Thich Nhat Hanh, and a lot of the things that he discusses there, the foundations, are you know, have really influenced these practices that we are doing. It goes from the Buddha's birth to the Buddha's death. And it's an extremely beautiful book. So I will send a link that I hope you can get it and read it. So practice centering and purifying breathing. We are in page 57. The word centering is very important because it really applies to a reality that we can be centered or we can be dispersed. You know, it's really not. It's almost like being pregnant. You know, I mean, you can be pregnant, you cannot be pregnant. Then within being pregnant, there's you know, yeah, you can be a little bit pregnant, or you can be very pregnant. There's certain hormones that are measured at the beginning. You know, like to see if the pregnancy is going to stick or not. So you can be a little bit centered, or you can be very centered, but then at some point you're either present or you are dispersed, you know. And sometimes it's just a fraction of a second. It's like a little bit, you know. So the idea here is that, and here explains, our physical body, it's like a steak, basically. You know, that's the reality of it. Okay, so you go to Whole Foods or whatever you shop, and Kroger's or something, and if you know, you walk by the kitchen counter, by the meat counter there, and you see all these, you know, chickens and whatever they have there, and okay. So the difference between an alive chicken and a dead chicken is the energy body. Okay, so the physical body is here, but it's animated, is liven, I think it's a word in English, by this counterpart, which is the energy system, the electric system. It's nothing sophisticated. It's just an electric system, like in your house there's an electric system. Okay. The spark, and this is very interesting. Like also, if you research what is it that makes the heart beat, you know. Basically, scientists have no idea. Okay, it's kind of the mystery of mysteries. In the center of the heart, there's this part called the sinoatrial node, which is something that is in the center of, like, a bit towards the side of the heart, which is making a spark. You know, out of what? Out of pure divine consciousness, because, you know, how is it going to do it? Okay, so it's completely fascinating. So you have this little spark happening in your heart. Okay, that, as it expands and it travels, it generates this energy field that traditionally it is said it arranges itself in a pretty much an infinite, not an infinite, like a countless number of channels. Mark G, our teacher, was saying the other day, there's as many channels as pores in the skin. Okay, I've never heard that before. I thought it was very beautiful. Usually we say there's 72,000 energy channels that surround and pervade our body. And then we narrowed down those to 14 acupuncture channels. And then we narrowed down these to 3 main channels. Okay? So this practice works with those 3 main channels. There's, I'm sure you've been exposed to this practice in some way or another because it's commonly done in yoga centers. There's a couple of differences to, I think, in the way which we're going to do it. But so imagine there's 3 channels. Okay, so the channels, there's the left channel that connects to the left nostril, and it goes into the brain, and then it goes, down the side of the spine through the center of the body, and then it turns here, and then you have the right channel that goes into the brain and goes down the side of the spine in the center of the body and connects here. There's different drawings that you'll see sometimes, sometimes it will look like this, okay? It's, at the end of the day, really it's your experience. So, but for the practical terms here, imagine the channels go like this into the brain, and then from the brain go down the sides of the neck and down, okay? And join here. So this point is a point that is about 3 fingers down the navel. Okay. From this point, there's another channel that runs up the center of the body between the front and the back, runs up straight, connects with the crown. Then here is what it makes the practice that we're going to be doing a bit different, a bit special. So from the crown, where you stitch, you can do it in 2 ways. Sometimes, Mark, she teaches it like the 12 finger space. The way, I like to do it, and I was taught also, is if you stretch your arm up, wherever your flat palm reaches, okay? So above there, you imagine like a beautiful lotus, okay, with the sun above. This is not here in the book, but because you are in these sessions and you are very nice to me, I give you the... No, it's just, too much for the book. Okay. So I didn't want to confuse people, but I know some of you are very familiar with this practice. So let's do this, and I'll guide you first, and we'll do it 2 or 3 times. This practice can be done just by itself, and for the next 2 weeks, I would encourage everybody to do 3 rounds of 9 to really get the sense. And then what we've done in the past, or what you can do, then we will incorporate it just as a round of 9 at the beginning of our practices. So this is one of the first practices already where actually posture is very important. So you should be sitting in a way that your spine is aligned. The chin should be slightly in, the tongue should be touching the upper palate. Okay. And we are aligning what we call the 3 inner heavens. Checking the clock, okay. Time flies when you're having fun. So in Chinese medicine, we talk about the 3 inner heavens. They have some correspondences to the chakra system. One of the inner heavens, the Dantian, is in the lower abdomen, which is where these channels join. The other one is in the heart. The other one is in the center of the head. We call them the 3 inner heavens because they are, they represent the state of 3 of our aspects, which are the form, the energy, and the mind in its pure state. So that's why we call them heavens. Okay, so sit comfortably with your back straight, but relax. Okay, the chin is slightly in. And then take 3 relaxed breaths. The left channel, it's said to be the channel of the moon. The right channel is to be the channel of the sun, the left channel is to be the channel of inner activity, the right channel is to be said the channel of outer activity. So those channels are alternating throughout the day, or they should be alternating, and they are making us aware of things. The important thing of this practice is like we bring the awareness that is on those channels to the actual central channel, and we become aware then of this ground foundation, this experience of being that is witnessing both the outer and the inner. Okay, so we call that the union of the sun and the moon and fire. Okay. So you take 3 relaxed breaths, awaken within yourself a sense of feeling of openness, of well-being, of optimism. And then you're going to start inhaling through the left nostril. So first, in page 58, it says clear the right channel. So you exhale, and then with the index finger, block the left nostril and inhale through the right. And then holding the breath naturally, rest the arm. When you are ready to inhale again, to exhale, bring the right index to the right and exhale. So when you bring the finger to block the nostril, you want to have the elbow slightly like aligned. The arm should be aligned with the body. You see how my arm is a bit open? Okay, not so tight that it tightens the shoulder. It's comfortable, but there's space for the body to breathe. Okay, so the same thing on this side. Then we're going to do it. We're going to repeat this 3 times. The trick here is do not let your mind guide the process. Let your body guide the process. So you inhale, hold. When you feel the need to exhale, then you exhale. Okay, but wait for the need to exhale. So let's clear the right channel 3 times. So start inhaling, blocking the left, and inhale through the right. Hold at your own pace, and then exhale. And then once you need to inhale again, okay, inhale again through the right, blocking the left. And exhale at your own pace. Keep inhaling once more. And exhale at your own pace. Is this clear? Okay, I think it's very simple. To get the juice, to get what we are trying to get out of this practice, the essence is the pauses in between. Do not do it mechanically, like really you inhale, and then whatever it is, a fraction of a second, 5 seconds, 10 seconds, just hold naturally the breath, and then exhale. And then the same thing. Before you start next, just really let the body guide you. Do not be short of breath, but let the body guide you. it's those spaces where the magic happens. Okay, not that is in the spaces where the magic happens, but is this very mindful, soft process that is guided by the actual breath that is going to spark what we are after with this practice. So now let's try now we clear the left, so block the right. And then at your own pace, rest the arm, holding the breath for whatever is comfortable, and then just exhale, blocking the left. And repeat at your own pace. So 3 times. Okay, so those are so it's, sometimes this is also called 9 purification breathing, because we do 3 of each side and 3 of the center. There's a visualization that you can do as you go if you want. So when you're inhaling clear, fresh breath that comes up the channel and goes down the channel into the lower abdomen. You hold the clear energy there, and then when you're ready to exhale, you're exhaling out tension, illness, worries, whatever is out, whatever you don't want out, it goes. Okay, so you can keep that visualization in mind. Let's do this same thing, like we'll do the left and the right, everybody at your own pace. Very mindful, slow, at your own pace. Do not force the breath, do not hold it, but just be mindful of the process, okay? In through the right. And repeat this 3 times at your own pace. And then at your own pace, once you're done with one side, so you start on the other side. So you start blocking the right and inhaling through the left. then so now both channels are cleansed, and we're going to inhale now through both nostrils into the brain, bring the breath down into the abdomen, like about, either the navel or 3 fingers below the navel, they join there. You're going to hold there for a moment, and when you're ready to exhale, you're going to exhale up the center of the channel, the center of the body through the central channel, into the crown and out. So let's do these 3 times first before we add the next part. I'm going to use my fingers just, in case somebody has their eyes open, but you don't need to use the fingers. So inhale through both nostrils, into the brain, down the sides of the spine to the lower abdomen. Hold your breath. And then exhale. Then at your own pace again. Inhale through both nostrils into the brain. Visualize the clean energy, the clean oxygen go down to the lower abdomen, connecting with the inner heaven, and then exhaling through the center, cleaning the middle heaven in the heart, the upper heaven in the forehead, and then exhaling out the crown. And then once more, into the brain, down the sides of the spine to below the navel, and out. And then just let your attention go down into the body again, into the lower abdomen or into the heart. So that's the mechanism of it. You can do it all. You can do the 9 breaths, one after the other one. You can leave spaces in between. If sometimes you just do 3, like 1 round on the left side, and maybe you just feel like taking, 2 or 3 breaths before you do the right. That's good. At the end, when we do this one through the central channel, sometimes after each single of those, you might feel like resting a little bit. Then in our tradition, there's all practices use the central channel because central channel is the basis for our life. But there's 2 specific practices that are very much used, which very much emphasize the practice of the central channel, which is the practice of dream yoga and the practice of transference of consciousness at the time of death. And this is the last part of this practice. It's very good for that. It's just basically very good to connect with our state of being that is constantly permanently here beyond the world of appearances. So when you're inhaling, the breath goes down, and then the breath joins in the lower abdomen. The first few times you do this, you're kind of almost clearing some smoke from the center, and just letting away tension and letting away worries, anything that is stuck there. You can visualize this smoke going out of the crown. Okay, so you do that for whatever times you need to, and at the same time, at some point, it feels that the consciousness is clear, like the central channel is clear, is shiny. Okay. So this is not in the book, it's optional, but like when you buy something in internet, they give you bonus. Yeah, say $1,700 of free bonus. Okay, so this is the bonus here. It has no price, it's priceless, so we can put a price. But so what you do is, like, your consciousness, it's almost like a sphere, okay, that goes up the central channel and comes out the crown and goes into this beautiful lotus that is above your crown, and then it just shines with this beautiful exquisite light that showers, that surrounds you, that descends into the body again. This here is kind of implied in the book. It says, after completing the third round, feel healing golden light showering down from above your head, surrounding and filling your whole body. Okay, so let's do the central channel breathing again, and the third time, the awareness goes a bit higher than the crown and connects with this beautiful sphere of consciousness, of golden light that represents the original, the nature of mind, the deity itself, and then that showers beautiful. You could visualize there, if you wanted, you could visualize Mary, Jesus above your head, whatever it is. So the consciousness goes there, and that shines with light. And then just your awareness descends back into your body, but the mind stays very spacious, very clear. So let's do this, okay, 3 times. Let's start. Inhale both nostrils into the brain, down into the abdomen, and just exhale, clearing the central channel through the center. And inhale again into the brain, down the sides. And at your own pace, up, connecting with the crown. Exhaling stagnation as a smoke. And then just ascending back into the abdomen or the heart. And then this third time, just inhale into the brain, down to the center of the body, below the navel, and then exhale through the center of the body, this beautiful pearl of consciousness that goes to the crown, and out the crown ascends to connect with this beautiful lotus, where above there's this beautiful sphere of light as a deity or as Jesus or Mary. And then when it touches that, this beautiful lotus above the head just shines with this beautiful light that surrounds you, fills you, and your awareness comes down back into your body, and the top of the head stays very nicely closed, shining with light but closed, and the awareness just comes down. Just bring it down to the navel and just rest. And then as soon as thought starts, you just bring back your attention to the present and continue with your practice. This is like a little light touch. If the pearl thing that I said is too complicated or you didn't really get it, no problem, just forget about it. And just after you exhale through the crown, just visualize beautiful golden light filling you and surrounding you and making your body very vibrant. In page 13, I ask everybody to read this example of a healing meditation session. So this is what I would like you to do for the next 2 weeks. The main practice for the next 2 weeks is just doing the motivation and doing this centering purification practice. You can do 1 round. Ideally, if you can do 3 rounds, that could be your main practice. And then after each of the rounds, just spend a couple of minutes. You'll see naturally the mind becomes very quiet, just staying with a state of clarity and well-being there. Moving forward, okay, do you have the book, some of you, with you? So in page 13, it says, in the first paragraph there it says 1, and so this states the three parts of our practice: motivation, practice, and dedication. I didn't want to complicate things for people in the book, for if somebody just read it on their own. Under 1, it says, begin by expressing and reflecting on your personal and altruistic motivations. Yeah, so this is what we do at the beginning. And then there's A, personal motivation, B, altruistic motivation. Everybody's with me? Okay. So now you're going to make a C. Okay. And I'm going over this because it's super important to get a structure of what is it that like a meditation session structure is. Okay. So under 1, A, B, then you put C. So from now on, my suggestion is that anytime you do your practice, anytime you're going to practice on your own, you do the motivations, and then you do the centering and purifying breath, and then you move into whatever practice you are doing. In a way, we were doing this in the past, but some of you were not, maybe it's the first time you're practicing with me or something, so. Okay, so are we clear on this? Ellen, Gary, everybody clear? Yeah, okay. Cindy, clear? Okay. Are you clear? Claire, are you clear? Okay. One of the main issues that I see in people that are wanting to learn meditation is like the structure is not very clear. Okay. I know Pam and Andy, I'm sure they were clear, and Joanne, you are very clear. Okay. So this is essential. This is like a gem that I learned years ago. I was in India with a young Rinpoche, and we were in Bodh Gaya where the Buddha attained enlightenment. Beautiful place to practice. We were in a 10-day retreat there, and I learned many things, but this was like the essence of what for me turned my practice around to say, oh, it's like everything, there's actually a clear structure, and if you follow the structure, you always know what to do. There's never any question, okay? And then you feel more relaxed, and the practice can really thrive. Okay? Nature thrives through structure. There's roots, there's trunk, there's branches. Okay, so this practice is a practice on its own, but it goes inserted there. Okay, so let's repeat the practice. Let's do the 9, the centering and purifying breathing. So start by blocking we start on the left, no? Clearing the right channel, yeah. So start on the left, block the left and inhale. And at your own pace, just keep repeating this 3 times. all the other aspects of feeling the breath, like you should be feeling the breath, it's still the breath of life. The breath has not changed, we're just guiding it. So all the other aspects of being present with the breath, feeling spaciousness inside, everything else is the same. You're just guiding the breath. And if you can do the visualization of how it goes down and then goes up the other channel, goes up. And then at your own pace, now block the right and inhale through the left. Honor the pauses. Like you'll notice the more you practice, naturally the pauses will be longer. So honor the pauses. Like do not start the next breath until you really feel like breathing, because when you're resting on those pauses, one of my Master Kim, a wonderful Korean Taoist teacher, once in a retreat I was, he said, those pauses are where you will find God. So there's a practice that comes a bit down the line where we focus on the pauses, but by now, so at your own pace, you are inhaling, and then resting with the air, and once the air feels like really going out, you exhale. These pauses are essential because these pauses are the foundation to understand your personal rhythm and to have the inner firmness to develop clear boundaries. Next time somebody tells you, oh, let's do this, or you should do this, and internally you feel like you are not, let me put it differently. Sometimes we do things because we don't even know why we do things, okay? And it's because we are not able to set up clear boundaries that are loving, So connecting with the pauses, it's like 1,000 sessions of therapy, because it awakens this natural inner firmness that is loving, that is clear, and that knows internally when things are yes and when things are no. Okay? So this is essential, okay? And this is what, one of the things what, Master Kim said, this is when you find God, not somebody in a cloud, but the inner voice, that voice of certainty that we were talking at the beginning. So inhale through both nostrils into the brain, down into the lower abdomen, exhaling through the center, out the crown. And then again, inhale through both nostrils. Out the center. And always at the end of ascending through the center, always, feel the awareness, the energy going down, you feeling back on your body present. And then a third time, inhale. And exhale through the center, going up and out. And this time, let the energy, the breath ascend through the crown and mingle, like blend with this beautiful lotus above your head, this beautiful sphere of light, and the deity if you want. And naturally this radiates with the most exquisite, healing, loving, creative light around you, and then showers back, your awareness coming back into your body, around you, inside of you. And then your awareness as this sphere of light residing in the heart or in the abdomen. And this is exquisite. So hundreds of research papers on this specific breathing tell you to take it really to heart. I had the other day, there was a client who came here, very sweet lady. She's been coming for a long time, and I always enjoy very much when she comes. She got my book, and she asked all these questions about meditation, and I'm explaining her, and then as within the conversation, she says, "So, could you tell me a book that I can get so I can learn how to meditate?" And I said, "Well, let me see if I can find something." So imagine you're in a restaurant and they brought you the meal. It's a good meal, has fantastic ingredients, from the finest places on the world. The chef has collected them, and maybe it's not a very good chef, but the ingredients are very good. Okay? And they bring it to you to the table. Everything is very beautiful and very exquisite, and it's like this nice steam coming up and the scents and everything. And you ask the waiter, "Can you tell me a restaurant over here where I can go eat?" So, what can you do? You can just look through the window and say, "Yeah, I think down the street there's somewhere," and see if you enjoy. So, very often this is what happens. She didn't do anything wrong. It's like we have the most exquisite, the simplest, most perfect, finest thing, in front of us, and we're still looking for it, So it's very essential to marry a practice, to get a practice and give it all, for a year, So I had a good laugh, I said, "Sure," So anyway, like you say in English, bless her heart. I love that expression, bless your heart. People, we connect with different things, so there was nothing wrong with what she said, but I thought it was, it was peculiar. So, okay. So anyway, let's read the dedication. So, by the merit of having practiced healing meditation for the benefit of myself and all others, all other beings, may all beings without exception be well and happy. May there be peace in all lands, prosperity in all households, and joy in all hearts across all time and space. And may the motivation prayers made for the well-being of beings become a reality. So may all beings be happy, and may the sublime awakened mind, this mind of loving kindness, of compassion, of joy, of certainty in our nature, where it has not awakened, may it awaken. Where it has awakened, may it never decrease, but continue to keep increasing forevermore. So thank you so much.